Hey, welcome to the Board Game Rundown. I'm Spencer, and I am with Mike Googs. We are at Gen Con right now. He is going to tell us about the 3WS game, The Stuff of Legends. So, Mike, what is this game all about?
Sure. So the game is based on our 2008 best-selling graphic novel called The Stuff of Legend. We're 5 volumes in. We're finishing up with 6. But the story is the boogeyman, that little bad guy over here, has kidnapped the boy and taken him into the dark. And us, as the loyal toys, decide we have to go in to save him. So your objective is to get to the highest of the exits before the boy is lost forever. There are things in the game state that'll flip coins, move them down, all those things. But the objective is moving as a group, taking your turns, move through, I can move this, move through the dark step onto one of these exits. These exits are numbered 1 through 7, and your objective is to get onto the highest exit in the game. The caveat being, if the 7 is in the game, which is the highest of the numbers, great, that's the one you want to go to. Unless the 1 is in the game, then you got to go out the 1. So in that situation, the 1, yeah. Because if you move through and you got this and it's the 7 and you go, you're good. So if this is the 7, are we okay with that? Because if the 1's in the game, that's the wrong exit. Same thing if this is the 1 in the game, sure, it's the 1. But if the 7's in the game, that's the right exit. So you find the 1, then you do all this stuff, and you realize the 7's not in the game, or you realize the 7's in the game, you need to come back here.
So if you find the 7, can you decide we are done playing, I want to check all of them and see if we won?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, so even last night, they were playing a game, they moved up the center, they got into the jungle, they were getting hammered. There were just too many leaders, too many things. They hadn't looked at an exit, so they were here, and they were like, why don't we just do it? Let's see what happens. So they take their action, they move, they flip it over, it's the 7. Okay, they got to make sure the 1's not in the game. I'm sorry, it was the 1.
It was the 1. So
they got to make sure the 7's not in the game.
Yeah.
The 7 was over there. So they actually won the game by taking a chance.
So, but how did they decide we're done without dying?
They would have died. They had too many leaders that were going to do more damage to them, and it just wasn't going well for them. So it would have ended Boogeyman favor. But since it was the 1 and the 7 was in, the 1 was the right thing.
They just say, we're going to exit now.
Yeah, you use your move action, and you step onto the exit.
Take that risk.
So the concept of the game, which I guess we need to talk about again, everyone is loyal. In the beginning of the game, one of these will be shuffled and put in that unused, but you're either going to be loyal to the boy or loyal to the boogeyman. So it's semi-cooperative. It's cooperative until it's not. If you're loyal to the boy, you want to save the boy before the boy is lost, but if you're loyal to the boogeyman, you kind of want to hide in plain sight and tank the game. But the thing with the game, and what makes it really fun, is your loyalty card can shift. So there are cards in the game that let me take your loyalty card, shuffle it up, look at them, and then be like, I knew it. I knew you were loyal to the boogeyman. Meanwhile, I have the boogeyman card as my own anyway. So the bluffing, double bluffing in the game. You're never stuck with your loyalty card. You can get out of it. Yeah. But that's the premise. The boy has been kidnapped. We're the loyal toys. We step into the dark and we become real. So flip over Max, because I think that's on camera. That's his favorite teddy bear.
Aww.
But when he steps into the closet in the room and goes into the dark, he becomes the ferocious grizzly. The Jester is his favorite Jack-in-the-Box. But when Jester goes in, he's a dual-axe wielding Jester who's just a badass. His favorite piggy bank becomes Percy. He's a pig wearing pants. So, I mean, the allure of it is his loyal toys are going in to save him. And if you're loyal to the boy, you want to save him before he's gone forever. So in the beginning of the game, loyal to the boogeyman and loyal to the boy are shuffled and put in that unused loyalty spot. So in a 3-player game, there might not be a boogeyman player. We might all be trying to do the same thing. Or we're just accusing each other for no reason. In a 6-player game, there definitely is 1, and then there might be 2.
Oh, 2.
So it plays 3 to 6, plays about an hour, depending on your table talk and how much you really want to bluff that, no, I'm really good. But yeah, you'll go around, there'll be locations that'll have things to do. Everything adjacent is revealed from the beginning. And as you move around, you'll meet some leaders, you'll meet some bad guys, you might meet some allies that'll help you through. There'll be minions that'll come in, that come in and just mess with you, make it harder for you to survive and get through the game. Wounds will help you discard cards, flip coins.
So it's not player elimination sort of thing, it's just making it more difficult.
Definitely more difficult. The game presses you.
Okay.
The thing with the game, what makes it special, is the loyalty can shift.
Oh.
So there are cards in the game, namely Muddy the Waters. If I play it, I'll take your loyalty card, I'll shuffle it with mine. Then I'll look at them and give you back one. And then blame you for being the boogeyman, even though I've kept the boogeyman card. So that bluffing, double bluffing thing that's going on in the game, you're never stuck with that the betrayer. Like Battlestar, if someone finds out you're the bad guy, you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
You can trade, and if the boy you lose if the boy ends up down there. So
Boy's
if you
lost.
move it up one more, if I see the game's going to hell, and we're going to flip this coin, you got a 50-50 shot of the boy coming up. If the boy comes up, he moves down.
Oh.
At this point, I might want to play Muddy the Waters because I'm loyal to the boy. I think it's going to go bad. I take your boogeyman card,
So you can
and then when that
become
goes, I
boogeyman.
win. So,
That's
and
nice.
a bunch of things happen. You have a hand of cards. When you're out of cards, you refill your hand, but you got to flip the coin. So every time you need to refill, you flip this coin. Again, if it comes up boy, he moves down. If it comes up boogeyman, you take one of those boogeyman cards, and either that's going to be a global effect, you're going to keep it for yourself, you're going to have to give it to somebody else. So see on the bottom it says Sinister Games?
Yep.
That would be a global effect that's affecting the game.
Ah.
And it'll sit in that Sinister Game spot until another Sinister Game comes up. So he's just messing with us throughout the entire game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's ones that hit you, there's ones that you have to put it on somebody else, there's ones that just affect the game state.
And this is all art from the original graphic novel.
Yeah, so Charles P. Wilson III did all the art. The Boogeyman edition that we have over at booth 151, I guess I could say, comes with the first 52 pages. I don't know if this glares. I don't know if you can see
we can
it.
try it anyway.
But it comes with the first 52 pages of the comic. So you can kind of get the preamble of the story, what happens. It takes you right into the dark, and the first thing that happens on Brooklyn Creek. So you get a little bit of the story. The art is all in that sepia tone, so he did just an amazing job with everything in this game. And then the designer, Kevin Wilson, if you know Kevin, he's a very thematic game designer.
Yeah, this seems to be fitting the theme pretty well.
You are a character, let's say you're Max, you're a character in the game, and you bring a certain thing to the team. So on the bottom there you see some icons. The icons will help you trigger tasks and complete tasks. But on the left side is a passive ability. It's something that's always there for you because that's who you are. And on the right side is your stained ability. So on your turn, if you can ask for people's help. But if the action is stained, and by stained actually has black ink on the cards, other
like
than
slightly corrupted.
Yeah. If a stained card is on your action, so like I might ask you, hey, do you want to help us? Like, what can you do? Oh, I can help you. I can definitely help you. If I decide to bring you along and you flip over a card and it's stained, my rage kicks in, and now we all have to discard a card with a green icon on it.
Oh wow.
So there's always a passive and an aggressive stained ability that's happening.
Yeah, I like that because you might not have the option of not giving that card if you want to help.
Everything you do in the game, it's very simple. There's 3 actions. There's the one action is either move or hide. You can only hide if your space is clear. You can pass and discard a card, or you play an action card. But every turn, whatever you're doing, you're discarding a card from your hand, and that's discarded face down.
Oh.
So you could be like, hey, does anybody have a card? And I could be like, no, I wish I could help. I really can't. The next time I take an action, I could discard the card that I said I didn't have, and you would know.
So everyone moves as a team.
As a team,
So
yeah.
we are a single unit.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's hard to see because it's all facing up, but that's Scout with the Colonel's rifle. So yeah, we move as them, but we have our own characters, right? So there's Jester, and the minis, I don't know if you can zoom in or whatever, but the minis are just bonkers good.
They are.
There isn't player turn, there isn't player order. We decide who goes. So if we're like, all right, you're gonna take your turn, you're gonna kind of leverage, like, look, I can really do a thing right now. We're gonna get hurt. I have the cards that'll help us. Okay, great. If you're Jester, you'll take your Jester pawn and put it here. And then you do your thing. And let's say I go, and I'm Max, and I go there. And then Quackers goes, and Quackers goes there. Once 3 people go, they're exhausted, and then the Boogeyman goes. And anything with a Boogeyman icon on it, all the minions will move. We don't get our pawns back until everyone has gone. So we're playing a 4-player game, and then Monty goes. Then we get these back, and now we start to figure out who wants to go next.
Okay.
But every 3 turns, the Boogeyman's doing something. The Boogeyman has 2 things. And you see that little sweet-ass mini.
Yeah.
So the
fantastic.
boogeyman has this track. There's the attention level and the strength. The attention level is letting you know how far away people are on to you. So if we start the game on 2, which means anything 2 away, if there was a minion here and the boogeyman went, since this is 2 away, he'd move in. If they were all here, the boogeyman's at 1 away, these all move in. And then anything 1 away with the boogeyman icon would also trigger. But that also gives you your troop health. So your heart is how hard these guys are to kill.
Ah, okay.
So the better you can do is keeping the attention level down, which you can control by going over green paths, because you're being sneaky. This will start going down, making it a little bit easier for you to get around. As you go over the red paths, or certain cards trigger, this will start going up, making it harder.
Ah. Yeah, a nice balance there. I've also noticed that not only do they have this card on top, which is a red, there's a black card beneath, and it matches the location and encounter. So how does that work?
So anything adjacent to your group mover is revealed, and could trigger when revealed, or triggers when you step in. And then when you step in, that's when you deal with the encounters. So you have a bad guy there, right? The Husk
Headsman
or Hank. So when you go there, his little leader card will come out and be on that spot.
Oh, okay.
If you look at the other thing, no, the other card underneath that.
Mayor's Mansion.
See what it says there?
All non-green actions are stained in this space.
So now it's going to affect when you're there, what's going to happen. The other thing is, remember I said you can peek at these things?
Yeah.
You can't just take an action to peek at those things. There are cards that allow you to complete a task, which may be five red icons or 5 blue icons. To complete the task, the person doing the task gets to peek, but you have to find the location. So there's 2 locations in the jungle. There's one over in Hopscotch and one over in Hopscotch and one over in Brooklyn Creek. You have to find that thing that'll let you complete that task.
And you might not trust the person, so you might want to make certain that you're the one who does the task.
Absolutely, absolutely. The thing is, so here's the task card. So in order to peek at the Brooklyn Creek location, you have to have 5 binoculars, 5 scouts. You can ask for people's help. If I'm the jester, I automatically have 1. I might have in my hand a card 2 more, but I need 5. So hey, can you help out? Yeah, I can help out. Do you trust me to do it? Then if we stay in that location, now you can do it and call my bluff. And if you're on my team, yeah, no, he's telling the truth, it's a 4. If you're the boogeyman, you're gonna throw me under the bus. Like, it's not the 4, it's a 2. Or you're gonna look at this, remember I said it was the 4? You'll end up peeking at it. And then you'll come out of the gate going, it's not the 4, he lied, it's the 2. Like, of course you would say that. You're the boogeyman. So yeah, you're lying. So there's a bunch of like just bluffing, double bluffing, and you're never stuck. It's super cool.
And with the hidden trader moving around the table potentially,
yeah,
that makes the bluffing so much more fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Well, and so in the beginning of the game, because now it's like you don't know who to trust. In the beginning of the game, one of the loyalty cards is 2 of them, depending on your player count, is the Colonel's Heir or Scout's Friend. Whoever gets that in the beginning, and they're the same backing, so you don't know. Whoever gets that in the beginning of the game automatically gets a Loyal to the Boy card, so we know we can trust them out of the gate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But as soon as that loyalty card gets touched, can we trust you
don't know
anymore?
anymore.
So they're usually the ones to take the first turn. They're the ones you trust to look at the tasks, but that can really shift around. So yeah.
That's really awesome.
Super great. It's super fun.
Yeah, and there's some icons on here that I'm sure you'll learn as you play the game, the little plus marks and the walking.
That's for setup. So for setup, every location gets an encounter and a location card, shuffled and face down. Any location with a troop starts with a troop, and any location with a plus starts with an extra encounter card. So there are 2 here.
And that...
The wound track.
No, the chit right there.
This.
The tile, yeah.
Yeah, the resin.
Oh,
so these are all resin in the boogeyman, yeah.
That's
so the
nice.
wound track, if we ended our turn and we had no way to get away from these guys, we'd take 3 wounds.
Ooh.
First wound, someone has to discard a card. Second wound, someone has to discard 2 cards. Then you got to discard 3 cards.
What if you don't have that many?
You have to redraw, which means you're flipping the coin, which means the boogeyman or the boy are messing with you.
Oh.
When you get here, it's flip a coin, flip a coin, flip a coin.
Wow.
And then it goes back to the beginning.
Is there any way to heal, or do you have to go through all the time?
There's a card called Treat Wounds,
okay.
which if you're here, you can treat wounds and then go here. There's also a player ability to help you with the wounds, so it's brutal, but not too brutal.
It looks like this is sort of a player guide.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah, so like I said, there's 3 actions. In one of the actions, you're either moving or hiding. You can only hide if you're alone in a spot, which will knock down the threat level. Moving goes to a vote. You got to get people to vote along with you. So you discard a card for your action and say, I want to move here. And everyone will be like, yeah, we're good. But if it's somewhere over here, and I've looked over here, and I'm like, guys, this is not good for us. Like, it's a bad, we're going to die. And you're like, I want to move in. Like, why would you move in there? Like, I'm telling you it's bad. And then we just say, no,
what if there's a tie?
Ties are broken by the rifle. So the colonel has a rifle card. And you'd break ties by whoever has the rifle. And then that would move.
Okay.
So the other thing that makes this even more challenging is if you notice in here, there's this canyon.
Yes.
There's no path. So somewhere in the ruined zoo, you'll find the rope bridge. And the rope bridge will let you into the jungle, and the jungle is important because there are 2 spots in the jungle to look at. There's only one in Brooklyn and one in Hopscotch. So looking into the jungle is, but the jungle is brutal. Every spot has 2 encounter cards. It's painful, but it's super fun.
Yeah, this sounds
really
amazing.
Yeah. The art's beautiful. The gameplay is up. I mean, you're only doing a certain amount of action. The gameplay, the strategy is in, like, we're all working together until you find out who's not.
Yeah, and we could be working together for this turn.
Yeah, because you don't want to out yourself too quickly.
Well, I was even thinking, if you out yourself too quickly, then it's just going to become fighting over who has it. Because then there's going to become a fight to get down here and who gets it.
Yeah.
It's a totally different game, but it could be entirely fun.
Absolutely. And then you get somebody else coming in who actually was the boogeyman, just laughing because now we've been fighting for no reason and they win anyway. It's super great. The minis are great. The art's beautiful. The story, if you can get the story, it's a great story. Super fun.
Yeah, I remember when it came out. I was very interested. I regret not picking it up.
We have it.
Awesome. I might be coming by then. All right.
Yeah, 5 volumes now. The 6th will come out soon. Charles is working on the panels for the art, and we're lettering it and everything.
So each volume is going to be the same mechanics, but new map and new cards?
Don't know. Like, this is book 1, The Dark, and it takes, if you're familiar with volumes 1 and 2, there are Easter eggs, and like when you meet the king and when you meet Aya, like there's those things, like, of course Jester does this because Jester's character is that in the story. But you don't need to know it. There are little Easter eggs, but you don't need to know the story. But technically, this takes place over books 1 and 2, or volumes 1 and 2. And then the plan would be to extend into the other worlds. I don't know if it would be the same. I don't know if it would be a continuation. So there's more to come as we figure all that out.
Yes, this is great. I really look forward to playing this. Anything else that we should know about the game?
If you're watching this and you're actually at Gen Con, we have a bundle at the booth. It's $120. It comes with the Boogeyman edition, which has all the minis, the resin pieces, the game trays, toy box, like all the good stuff.
That's the one that we're looking at right now?
The one we're looking at now, yep. Little thicker. It comes with volume 1 of the story, and you get volume 2 for free.
Oh, nice.
And you get a little Max pin. But everyone that buys the bundle gets a raffle ticket, and every day at 5 o'clock, we're raffling off a 1 of 1 from Charles. So it's either a pencil drawing for concept art, it's a colored-in Jester, it's a colored-in Max.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then the earlier you buy it, the longer you're in for the raffle. So we're not dumping it out every night.
Very good.
5 o'clock every day.
Get over there. Which booth was it again?
It's 151.
151, which is that way.
Yep, all the way on the other side.
Yeah.
Halfway. We're about halfway through. But yeah, 151. We're right across from Gloomhaven. So we get to stare at that weird thing with the heads.
Oh yeah,
all day. Yeah,
you can be watching all those people play Gloomhaven.
Yeah,
get them come over to our booth.
I mean, yeah, it's just fun. I'm glad to be here.
All right,
it's super fun to see everybody doing all the things.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And we definitely need to play. The other guys had a chance to play, so.
Yeah, I'm the only one in the group who has not had a chance to play because I was silly and decided to go to bed. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. Great. What can I say? So, for the board game rundown, I'm Spencer.
I'm Mike.
And hope to see you here.